Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Gonna have a rough conversation with you morning, but that's what I'm known for. People in my coaching program here in San Antonio know one of my famous quotes: I'm not politically correct, I'm just correct. So let's go there. As a father of seven, I got a little something to say here. Could you, or me for that matter, be a Supreme Court justice with your past? Why do I bring this up? I bring this up for one simple reason. Let's say all things being equal, you had the law degree. Let's say that you actually went to a top university in the United States, Ivy League, graduated magna cum laude, and here you are at the top of your game. And could you be elected Supreme Court Justice? I had an interesting thought this morning as I was at the gym working out very early, and I thought, if Jesus himself had 1/10 of the scrutiny with his disciples that we have seen displayed just recently with this Supreme Court debacle, the Last Supper would have been Jesus by himself, because nobody would have been there. He was not known to call the qualified. He was known to qualify who he called. And the same goes for us many times. And so the question that I ask you, and the pain that I want to bring this morning, is this: if you expect to put a leader in place that will make everything better, or be the person you hope to be in a position of great influence, if you expect a leader to be in place who you can't even live up to yourself in your own life or your own past, and you put a set of expectations on another human being that you are not living by example yourself, well, you are an opinionated baby. See, I even made that dog mad. Listen to that. I think I know the political affiliation of that dog. I'm just playing. It ain't about politics, ladies and gentlemen. It's about love. Doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what creed. Doesn't matter nationality. Doesn't matter income or socioeconomic status. Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter. It's love. People are people, y'all. I've talked about this many times before. If you were a raging Republican, conservative psychopath, and you were following behind a raging Democratic, intensely liberal psychopath, and you guys were fighting on the highway, and you were arguing on the highway, and you were flipping each other off, and you were angry at each other all the way to work, then you come to a stop at a red light, and it's like you're getting ready to race to go ahead, and let's say that Republican burst out in front of the Democrat, but then didn't notice the truck coming sideways, and bam, had a massive accident and a massive wreck. And as the car turned sideways and opened up and caught on fire, Democrat, you notice that there's a child in the back seat. Would you be a Democrat? Would you say, that's a Republican? Would you be a Republican? Would you say, that's a Democrat, I'm not going to do anything? Or would you immediately go into human connection and compassion and get out of your car as quickly as possible to help and serve the other person? You see, that's the true nature of what's really deep down inside you. I have observed that people who enjoy getting their panties in a bunch over a lot of little issues, it's because, quite frankly, you're living a very boring, passionless life with no adventurous, joy-filled, vibrant relationship with the one who created you to enjoy all things. And you're just enjoying the counterfeit of adventure, which is drama. This is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. So your example, Paulo Coelho says this: it is your example, not your opinion, that changes the world. So are you living a double standard, is the question I have for you today. Do you have a double standard? Do you really think that this nation is going to be a greater nation because there's someone in office who lives morally and ethically above how you live? What is your DNA in this? What is your part in this? What is your responsibility in this? Do you really believe by putting a few leaders in place that it's going to change the nature of human beings to be selfish, self-centered, aggressive, hypocritical, judgmental, mean, ugly? No. Could you be a Supreme Court justice with your background? Have you ever made a mistake? This is a question that I want to ask, and I'm not justifying one part or another. Anytime I see human beings attacking other human beings, It grieves my spirit. So the point that I want to leave you with today is simply this. What example are you modeling for your colleagues, friends, and your children? What example are you modeling for your colleagues, your spouse, your children, your friends and family members? What example are you modeling? Are you modeling the lifestyle, ethics, integrity, morality, spirit of excellence that you are putting on your leaders? Or are you just expecting to pass the buck off to the leaders and hoping that everything's going to work out? Living the double standard. Simple question. Are you living the double standard? Are you living the double standard, or are you not living the double standard? I guess that dog don't like convertibles, man. That's a funny dog right there. Are you living a double standard? Are you putting an expectation on others that you yourself do not consistently fulfill? Why, Steve? Why would you ask me this? I'm a coach. I'm not a cheerleader. I don't carry pom-poms and a smile. I carry a whistle and a scowl in hopes that big, significant change in your life will not have to come from desperation, but that you have an opportunity for change to come from inspiration. Because massive change in a human's life either comes from inspiration or desperation. And let me tell you something about desperation. Desperation is a very cruel taskmaster who you will hand a blank check to. It's going to cost you 100 times more than you thought. You will hand your watch to because it's going to take 100 times longer than you thought. And you are going to be at the whim and will of desperation, which will force you to play by its rules to change, versus inspiration, where you have the opportunity to make the decisions moving forward about how you're going to change your life. Do you live a double standard? Is your example one that the Supreme Court, that Congress, that others could follow? Are you leading for us? Are you showing us the way that we should be living? Are you showing us the way that we should relate to people? Are you showing us how to treat one another? If you're not, then I'd like to make a suggestion. Why don't you give it a try sometime? And you guys have a great weekend.